Hey everybody, welcome back to My Wings of Refuge. I'm so excited today. Y'all, it's almost Christmas. This is the week of Christmas and there is no more beautiful time of the year to see all the beautiful lights, the Christmas decorations, the manger scenes, the music, and just knowing that Jesus is the reason for the season. So I'm excited today. We're going to make something today that can also be another one of those quick little easy Christmas gifts, a stocking stuffer if you may, but if not, it's also something that I really like to have on hand and use during this colder weather when the weather is drier and cold and your skin gets dry and chapped, and especially lately because if you're like me, you wash your hands so much and you use so much hand sanitizer that you need a really good lotioning. So today we're not just going to make a lotion, we're going to make a lotion bar. A lotion bar is going to just be much more nourishing for your skin and it lasts so much longer. And one of our secret ingredients today, because you can make lotion bars with so many different ingredients, I like to use pure tallow. When I use tallow, like in my lip balms and different things, you can tell a big difference because it lasts so much longer. I love using tallow. Okay, so today you need just a few ingredients, very few. We're going to use our beef tallow. We're going to use some beeswax. We're going to use a little bit of shea butter, a little bit of coconut oil. And if you have a favorite essential oil, you can use it. You don't have to use it. And I'm going to use a very Christmassy one today. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start with our tallow. And we want to use a half of a cup. So we have our half a cup here of beef tallow. Now y'all, I don't use this for cooking. I use this to make personal care items like lotions, and you can use it for your chapsticks and different things like that. I don't use it to cook with, but you can. You can use it to cook with. And I'm just going to scoop that now right into my glass dish. Now if you have a double broiler, you can use that here, but I don't have a double broiler. You can easily makeshift a double broiler, but I also use the microwave. Up to you, but you can. Okay, so next we want a half a cup of beeswax. Now, I have honeybees, and I am really hoping that next year I'll have enough beeswax also to use. Okay, so now we have our half a cup of beeswax. Next, we want to use half that amount. We're going to use a fourth of a cup of our coconut oil. Okay, so now we have our fourth of a cup of our coconut oil. Okay, and last but not least, our shea butter. And again, another fourth of a cup. Fourth of a cup, shea butter. So now we're just going to put this in the microwave. And we're going to do this on 30 seconds. And we're going to stir it every 30 seconds until it's completely melted. You will probably notice that the beeswax will be the last thing to melt, those little beeswax beads, unless you use the chunks, and then it'll still be the last to melt. And so you want to make sure you keep doing it every 30 seconds and stirring until the beeswax is completely melted. Everything is melted. 30 more seconds. You can tell it's all starting to melt really well, but you see those little beads? Those will be the last to melt. We are ready for its final stir. Okay, so it's looking fabulous. It is all melted. It's also pretty warm. Just going to stir it really well. I'm going to let it cool tiny bit, just a tiny bit, while I tell you about my molds. I have some oval shapes and I have some rectangles. I love these because there's like flowers and beehives and bees on them. And you know, I love my bees. And anytime I use beeswax, it just makes sense, right? Okay, so I mentioned we're going to add in some essential oils. And I have fell in love with plant therapy. Now, I'm a huge Young Living girl. However, lately, I've been on more of a money-saving, practical mode. And so, I have actually switched to plant therapy. Now, I still have a few things, Young Living, still love Young Living, but this plant therapy is wonderful. Okay, so it's been out for about 30 seconds, and now I'm going to add in about 30 drops. I want to make sure I can smell it. Add in just a few more. All that's left is filling our molds and letting it cool. Now we wait. You can either leave it sitting here or you can put it in the refrigerator to speed it up a little bit quicker, or even in your freezer. So I decided to make a second batch. This time I'm using sugar plum. Okay, so these have been cooling for a bit. After they kind of set up a little bit, I did move them to the refrigerator because that'll just speed up the process. But I don't like to pick them up when they're wet because it's really flimsy unless you put them on a tray. So now all we have to do, you can tell when you just kind of pull that aside like that, you know that it's not really sticking anymore. You know it's pretty much done. And then you can kind of squeeze a little bit to feel the firmness, and you know they're not going to fall apart on you. They're nice and hard. So then all we got to do is ta-da! Aren't they cute? Can you see that? Oh, I love it. They're adorable. Then I did a second tray. These are so cute. They turned out great. And they smell wonderful. So that's really it, guys. It's super easy. And now you're ready to give these as wonderful little gifts. And it's just a next extra little added something special knowing it's homemade from you. I hope you enjoyed today's video, y'all. Don't forget that Jesus is the reason for the season. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you stay safe out there and enjoy your family, y'all, and just pray for our nation. Our nation needs your prayers. And so stay safe. I'll see you next week, y'all. Merry Christmas.